Hello, I'm Brian Fitzgerald, the Golf Doctor, and holding a putt like that starts with having good solid fundamentals, and today that's what we're going to talk about. Set up fundamentals for putting. So if this is your first time to this channel, welcome. This channel is all about helping you play better golf and lowering your golf score. And of course, one of the best ways to lower your score is to start holding more putts. So if you like this video, give me the thumbs up, consider subscribing. If you do, hit the bell notification and then you're notified of every golf tip as I release them currently every Monday and every Thursday morning Melbourne time. So as I said, today we're going to start with putting fundamentals. So it doesn't really matter what your stroke is, it does, but the stroke comes second. Setting up correctly and getting those fundamentals right actually helps you in developing the right stroke. So that's what we're going to do today. So putting fundamental number one is really getting a good grip. Now there are so many different grips out there that it can get very confusing, and I will be releasing a video in the next few weeks talking about all the different putting grips. But today we're just going to settle on one. I'm not saying you have to use this grip, but it's the grip that I use. It's a good one to start with, and there will be other grips that you can use, and I'll show you how to do those later. So the grip that I use is called a reverse overlap. And what we do with it is we take our normal golf grip, and if I lift it up here, I'll just show you that I take my left pointer finger out and I put it on the outside of the grip, just like that. So I go from here and then I do that. As I do that, I get my thumbs straight down the shaft. Now it's quite okay to do that. Now some people have the grip more in the palm of that left hand, like I've got it now, which is fine, but you want your right hand to mirror that. Whatever your left hand does, the right hand should mirror. So it's quite okay if we get both hands thumbs down the shaft like that. It's quite okay if we get them slightly across like that. But whatever it is, whatever one hand does, we mirror it with the other one. And the reason I like the reverse overlap grip is that it does help to just lock my hands during the stroke. It makes it harder for me to use my wrists. Now, the less we can use our wrists, the better. So the second fundamental is developing an athletic posture. So I see so many people when they're on the putting green and they've just got this awful posture and setup position. There's really no need and no excuse for not having a good posture. You can develop a great posture just by having this drink bottle. So if I just put my putter down there and I just let my arms dangle, the weight of this drink bottle is just letting pull my arms down closer to the ground. So it's much harder for me to set up out here. So by just taking all the tension out of my elbows, arms, shoulders, letting it hang, that's tilting my spine forward, and I have what I would be calling an athletic posture. So if I do that with my putter grip now, I'm not trying to bend my elbows, I'm not trying to get out here. I just try and let my arms dangle where I just held that drink bottle. And it just so happens that this putter is the right length for me. I had the putter fitted, I fitted it myself. And if you haven't had your putter fitting done, I'd really consider it, because there are so many people using the wrong length of putter and that sets them up for failure before they even start. So mine is 32 inches, that suits my leg length and arm length, and it works brilliantly for me. So I just let my arms hang. So when I do that, my eyes and head are in the right position, my spine is in the right position, and then I'm ready to go. Okay, so now I've got my posture in the right position. We need to look at ball position. So I like to think of it that there isn't one ball position, but there's a bit of an area that I try and get into. If I have my ball position too far forward in my stroke, my putter is going to be rising quite rapidly and it's going to have the effect of topping the ball a little bit. It won't be the disastrous top you get on a golf course if you're hitting it with your driver or your fairway wood or your irons, where it just rolls along the ground. This type of topping just hits the ball above the equator of the ball and it slows down how much it rolls. So you can have what you think is a really good stroke and you've hit a really good putt and you watch it come up 4 or 5 feet short and you think, wow, I didn't think that was going to happen. You could be topping the ball, so you could have your ball too far forward. Likewise, if we have the ball right in the middle of the stance, we're going to be hitting down on it a little bit. So we don't really want to hit down on it. There's loft on the putter, and there's not much, but there is loft. It varies from 3 to 5 degrees. The reason there is loft is it just gets it out of the little depression that the helps if I keep hold of the putter, doesn't it? So it helps to keep the ball or get the ball out of that little depression that it's sitting in on the green and gets the ball rolling. So if I have that ball in the middle, it's going to mean I have that 0 loft, which isn't going to help. So I like to think of it as maybe 1 ball position or 2 ball positions max in front of where the center of my stance would be. So that where my putter is now is where the center of my stance is. I would have it 1 ball. That seems to be my favorite location. And from there, I'm giving myself the best chance of success. So my next fundamental for putting setup is making sure that our club face is square to the line that we're trying to hit it on. I don't necessarily want it square to the hole. I want it square to my starting line, because this could be a right to left putt, and I've aimed these alignment sticks just marginally right of the hole, ever so slightly. It's a right lip putt. So my putter face should be square to where that right lip is. So a lot of people think they're in the right position and they're not. And because they're not in the right position to start with, they then develop bad tendencies to compensate for that. So I've seen people miss the ball left because they start too far right. They just overcompensate through the putting stroke. I like to start with things as neutral as we possibly can. So my start line is the right edge of the hole. So all I need to do with these 2 alignment sticks down here is to take my setup and I make a right angle from the yellow sticks and that white line I have on my putter face. So if I can do that, I know I'm nice and square. So it's not a guarantee, but it puts the odds more in my favour. My bad tendency is I tend to aim a little bit too far right. So I've got to check myself every few days. It depends how much I'm playing, but the more regularly I play, the more I check. And it's really important that we do get that putter face aligned. So sometimes when I test myself, I'll stand over it and think, wow, this feels like I'm aiming a lot further left than I feel I should be. I'm not, it just feels like it because I've gotten used to aiming right again. So by using some alignment sticks, it really does help with you hole more putts. And of course, the other alignment issue that I see a lot of people doing when I watch them have a putt is they have their feet in the right position, so their feet are parallel with these lines, but then we get them to check their shoulder alignment, and their shoulder alignment is a long way left of where they think. This is probably the most common issue I see when I'm on the putting green. I see a lot of people aiming quite a long way left with their upper body, and of course if that happens, that's going to change the path of your swing to being slightly to the left. There has to be some kind of compensation for you to be able to hole a putt from that position. So it's a really good idea to just practice with a club on the ground like I've got, or an alignment stick there. So we set my feet up parallel to that. When I feel comfy, I grab that alignment stick and my shoulders are pretty much parallel. If I was doing that, I could see that, oh, that's not looking good. We want to do that. If you really wanted to, you could thread this through your shirt, through that shirt right there, slip it through like this, hoping not to stab myself in the process. And then I take my setup, and yep, that's going too far out to the left. So I just square my shoulders up from there, and then I can feel that my shoulders are in the right position. So that's a really good way of double checking your alignment. So now we have all those setup fundamentals in place. The only thing left for me to do is to get myself in the correct position and knock the ball in the hole. Thank you for letting me help you with your golf. I'm Brian Fitzgerald, the Golf Doctor, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.